Today, we're talking about AI tools for entrepreneurs and which ones you actually need to support your business. Everyone's telling you use ChatGPT, Claude, Midjourney, Runway, HeyGen. The list goes on and on. I've tested every major AI platform. I've spent thousands on subscriptions and figured out the exact order you should adopt these tools. So in this video, I'm breaking down the complete AI tool landscape for entrepreneurs, the 7 categories of AI tools, which ones to start with, and the exact strategies for building your AI toolkit without wasting money or time. By the way, I'm Kathleen Ross, and I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs implement AI into their workflows, and you aren't going to want to miss my top AI tools and how to use them. Let's get started. There are many different types of AI tools. Probably you've heard of ChatGPT, but there's others. So there are text and chat tools. Some of them are ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity. These are all different types of LLM tools which can help you with various different tasks. Now, I like to use these for brainstorming, especially ChatGPT. That's my go-to that I use for brainstorming. Now, Claude, I like to use for emails and writing. I find from my personal perspective, I like the way the language is written. It seems to get my voice. And there's Gemini too, which sometimes I like if I really want a casual voice. The Gemini voice works really great. Now, Perplexity or ChatGPT has deep research are great for research and planning. Now, you can use just one of these tools. You don't necessarily need to have all of them. That's really only when you've exhausted one tool and then you want to go on to the next tool. This is what we've been talking about mostly in this course, is selecting one of these tools and then trying to build your systems within that tool. You really want to exhaust this tool. So pick one, start iterating with it, and this is how you're going to choose which one to start with. Now, ChatGPT has amazing features. There's so much you can do in this one tool. You can create images, you can research, you can do custom GPTs, you can do projects to organize all your files. This is one of the first tools to the market to become popularized, and it's pretty much a go-to. It also has a great free plan, it also has paid options, and it's just a very versatile tool. Now, Claude is another tool that I really like for long form writing. Like I said, I really like the voice for this, and you also have the ability to create projects to organize all of your files within Claude. Claude does a really great job at being able to articulate my voice. Gemini is great for Google users because this is Google's LLM, and this is actually within your Google workspace. So it's really nice because it can integrate into your workspace. So my advice is to start with the free version. I don't want you to pay for tools you're not going to use, and then only upgrade once you've hit your limits. So a lot of these tools are what's called token-based, basically like credits. And so on the free versions, you get a certain amount of credits. And then once you've used up all those credits, it will tell you you've used your limit. You either need to wait until the time has passed, or in some cases, if you're hitting that limit again a lot, that's when you start to consider if you want to purchase a tool. But I want to reiterate, as a small business owner, I know how important your budget is, and I don't want you to spend money on tools that you're not going to use. So only upgrade if you're hitting that limit over and over and over again. And you can always try different tools, but pick one, learn that tool, and only upgrade when the time is right, because you do not need to pay for any of these tools. So much is possible with the free versions. Now, the next category of tools are built-in AI features. In your Google Docs, in your Notion, if you use Notion, Microsoft 365, they all have AI tools right in those platforms. So you may already be using AI to summarize something. If you're using Gmail, maybe you have something be more formal, or you have AI update something. It's a built-in feature right into your email. These are tools you already use, so you can explore them and see what AI features they have that you can utilize. So again, you don't have to pay for anything new. A lot of these features are available within the tools you're already using. The next category is image generation tools. Now, there are a lot of different tools that create amazing AI visuals. DALL-E, which is in ChatGPT, Canva AI can create images, a program called Midjourney. Gemini has Nano Banana, which is such a fun name. Adobe Firefly, if you're already an Adobe user, this is Adobe's image generator. And then even a tool called Higgsfield AI. There are so many more different image generation tools, and that can be a little bit overwhelming. But what I want you to do do again is just choose one tool and play with it and iterate and see what's possible. And then you can go on to a new tool. So how do these tools work? Well, there's a few different ways. The first thing that they can do is what we call text to image. And as it sounds, you type in text and then it creates the image for you. These tools also have the ability to go from image to image or do something called style transfer. You can take an image and say, I want it in this style or change this thing or combine things together. It's pretty incredible what AI can do. Now, how would you use any of these tools? There's really infinite ways. Certainly you could do a holiday card or something like that. But for our business, we can use these for social graphics. We can use these for marketing materials, for mock-ups. I like to use these a lot for mock-ups, especially for planning. So whenever I'm trying to think about what I might want to film or might want to shoot, especially product photography and things like that, or if I want to create a storyboard, I love to use image features to be able to storyboard out my content. I love to use these image features to create inspiration boards, mood boards, so that I can really give a clear vision of what I'm trying to create and planning before any of my photo shoots or video shoots. I like to use these tools a lot, but you can also use them ready to publish. Now, there's one thing that's an important reality check, and that is AI struggles with text and images. Sometimes it can struggle with hands and complex scenes. So make sure that you're zooming in, make sure you're looking at the image, especially before you publish it. And if it comes to text, I like to always bring that back in with another program, which is why Canva is a really great option. If you're already using that, you can create your images within Canva, and then you can go ahead and add your text within Canva as well. So just make sure you understand the current limitations of AI, but know that AI is getting better almost every single day. So by the time you check again in a couple weeks and a couple months, it could be even better at text at that time. The next category is for video tools. Yes, I don't know if you've ever seen some of these AI video tools. They are incredible. You can barely tell what is AI and what is real anymore. So use them cautiously. But my favorite tools are Runway, ML, VO3, Sora, Kling, Wan. There are so many different AI tools for video specifically. Now, how do these work? Well, again, you can do text to video. So that's where you describe your scene in detail. You're going to type everything out and you're going to immediately get that video right back. You can also do something called image to video. You can either create an AI image or you can use an existing image and then you can animate it and create it into a video. I do this actually a lot. Sometimes where I just have a static image from a client and I want to make some motion to that, I can have AI transform my image into a moving picture, into a video. It's also really great for short clips. You can create B-roll, you can add this into your social content, and I use this a lot for social media. And don't forget, I actually have an entire course on how to use AI for social media that talks a little bit more about these amazing tools. So you can also use this for simple promos, for B-roll. Really, the sky is the limit. If you can imagine it, it can be surreal. I love to do really creative, unique things with these tools. So then I'm not just kind of recreating what happens in the real world. I always like to push myself to see what I could generate in the AI world that could be really unique. Now, there's a little bit of a reality check with these tools. Most of them generate videos between 3 to 5 or most 5 to 10-second clips. It's not really a long form yet, but I actually have some tips and tricks for you. So here, if you want to string together a longer piece of content, you're going to do what we call first frame, last frame. So you're going to take a screenshot or the image of that first frame in the video, and then that's what you're going to animate. You have your image, and then you take the last frame, and that's what you use to create the next clip. And you keep doing it, and you can string them all together. I mean, you could create an entire feature film this way. So you have to be a little creative to get past that 5 to 10-second clip limit for right now, but now you know exactly how. Have you ever heard of someone saying that they created an AI clone of themselves? Well, this is the category we like to call AI avatars, and there's some really powerful tools that do this, specifically HeyGen or Synthesia. There's so many different ways that you could use this, but what this does is it actually creates talking head videos without filming yourself. And one of the most powerful things is to be able to translate that video into any language. These tools are incredible. To be able to see yourself speaking a language you never spoke, Japanese, whatever language you can imagine, there's so many different languages within these tools. So now your message can go beyond the borders of your language and reach people in other parts of the world or who speak different languages.
If you are seeing this video, that means Kathleen is back in the studio hard at work filming this course, and I am in AI land producing a new video for her. Now, want to hear this in another language? Si estás viendo este video, eso significa que Kathleen ha vuelto al estudio y está trabajando duro filmando este curso.
This works really well with training videos for announcements and, again, that multilingual content. If you want to take one piece of content and dub it into many different languages, that's a great way to do it. The way it works more or less is you upload a video of yourself and then it recognizes your mannerisms, and then you're able to generate scripts, text to video, and have your AI avatar say whatever you've written on that script. Really, really cool tools. Now, what about voice or audio? There's some really amazing AI audio tools. And one of the ones that I use a lot is called 11 Labs. And this is for voice cloning. It also has voice actors, so you can actually select AI voice actors within this platform. Another way to use AI audio is by using AI music. Now, these are really great. Like I said, that 11 Labs is really great for voiceovers, for podcast intros, but you can also create music, your own custom song just from a text to music, using some of these tools that you could use for background music. I need to give you an important note though. It's really best that you disclose when you used AI voices in public content. You're responsible for making sure you know what disclaimers and what the terms of service are on each of the platforms that you use. But wait, AI can do even more. There are some really incredible automation platforms where you can take multiple different tools, layer them all together, and have AI do automations for you. Some of the tools that do automations include Zapier and Make. Now, what these apps do, whenever you hear about an AI automation, it's where it connects apps together and then it triggers actions automatically. Now, most of the time, this is based on specific trigger that you set. So maybe at a certain time of day, something happens, you trigger an email series, or when one specific action triggers another action. That's when automations are set up. If you're at a point in your marketing where you know you can start to automate some of these things based on specific triggers and actions, this is a good place to start playing. But I want to remind you, there's so many tools that we've talked about here. You don't necessarily need to get to all these advanced features, but they're there for you whenever you are ready. Now, where do you start? All these tools, what do I do first? Now, I want you to start with prompting first, because if you don't know how to communicate, it doesn't really matter which tool, you're not going to get the best results. So now you know how to communicate with AI. I want you to pick one specific tool. Now, there are some cost considerations that we started to talk about, which is you really don't need to spend that much money on all these tools. Again, start with those free tiers. They should be sufficient for testing and light use. Then you're going to decide which one you really like, and only when you need to is when you can go to a paid plan. These plans pricings typically range from about $20 to $50, maybe a little bit more a month per tool. You have to go and see what the pricing is currently for each of these tools, but there are fairly paid plans for most of these tools available. But remember, start free. Only upgrade when you've hit your limits. I don't want you to spend money on tools you're not going to use. So, we've talked about all these different tools. I want to talk about your tool strategy. Number one, you need to master one text tool first. You're doing this now by being in this course with all those prompts. Then you're going to add tools based on your biggest remaining time drain. Do you create a lot of images in your business? Do you have a lot of video needs? Or is it more like, I have all these videos and I just want to translate them? Then you're going to go to an AI avatar tool. Don't try to add all these at once. We want to avoid tool overload, one at a time, until you are ready to layer those tools. And the layering is when stuff really gets good. So I know you're going to get there. But remember to test these free trials before committing to any of these tools. As you can see, there's a lot of different tools here and many different ways that you can use them. Now, you may be thinking, I want to use this for social media. And I got you, because we actually filmed an entire course that's all about how to utilize AI for social media. And it teaches you some of these tools and how you can implement them specifically with your social strategy. So make sure you don't miss that one. We covered some of my favorite tools in this segment, and you have lots of different choices, and it all depends on what your business needs are. So I've shared some of my reasons why I like which tools, and now you know the tool categories and which one is really good for which tasks. And you also have a strategy of how to choose which tool and where to start, starting with one tool and then adding on additional tools as you need. Now you have this entire giant tool stack of some of my favorite tools and how to use them. And now it's time to get to work and put these in action in your business. If you want the complete system for mastering AI from the ground up, check out my full course, Fundamentals of AI for Entrepreneurs. I'll walk you through everything from how to communicate better with AI to creating your first assistant, sharing hands-on examples you can use immediately in your business. And if you want to take these AI skills and apply them specifically to create your social media content, check out my other course, Social Media with AI for Entrepreneurs. You'll learn exactly how to use AI for hooks, scripts, captions, and complete content strategies for your small business. Both courses are available on Impact now. Check the link in the description.